Oh, sorry. That's not coffee. Welcome to yet another night where I can't sleep. Possibly because I drink too much of this liquid here. Coffee. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today I'm going to talk to you about Swedish punk. Or Scandinavian punk as a whole, which is... has been quite an important part of my musical endeavors throughout the years. One of the earliest embraces with the Swedish punk was a cassette tape called Warning for Us, Warning for Us, which featured amongst other bands Rövsvett, which means literally ass sweat, who had a song called Kaffe on it. Where the chorus went, Kaffe, 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 Kaffe. I liked it a lot. I've been drinking coffee since I was 8, and I've been a brat since I've never been a brat. I've always been a nice and polite boy. Anyway, the Swedish punk just seemed to be more brutal and potent than the Danish punk bands, possibly due to the Danish punk bands often being produced pretty thinly and piss-weakly. When the Swedes had bands like Skitslickarna, Shitlickers, who made the famous Cracked Cop Skulls 7-inch in 82, and other similar stuff, then the Danish Sods and all the bands on the early Danish punk compilation Punk sounded rather impotent and incompetent. Later on, we luckily got a band like War of Destruction from Aarhus, who have a thick, fat, brutal sound, and that's what we Sønderjyder like. Norway had bands like So Much Hate, and that's about what I can remember from Norway. I'm fucking tired right now. That's why I ramble on like this. As if I ramble on like this because rambling on is all I can do, because I never fucking write a manuscript or plan what I say ahead of my random ramblings, which is possibly why I'll never grow rich doing this. As if, again, Finland had a really nice influence on me punk life balance. There were bands like Tervet Kadet, Healthy Hands, that means, who made the excellent Oma Koloni 7-inch in 1987, alongside with 2 other 7-inches that were recorded the same day or the same session. So there's actually a CD with quite a lot of songs with the same sound and the same feel to it, which is great, and I can, from a death, recall what it's called right now. The cover is pixelated something. Then there were Kumi Christus, who made a Rubber Christ, which made a 12-inch split with the Zitkunuke, which means Sprælleman, which is a cardboard figure with the thread hanging from the crotch. Then when you pull it, it does like this. I don't know what it's called in English, but that's what it was. There was Kanzler van Musik Commission, the People's Music Union, who made a fantastic record called 666. Of course, there were Localized, the Pensioners, but that was a bit later, not really punk, just fucking punky. Playing polka versions of classic hits like No, 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 and The Ace of Spades, The Ace of Spades, and stuff like that. I've never encountered a Faroese punk band, but there was a singular fucking little bratty punk girl in Iceland called Björk Gudmundsdóttir, who played in a band called Kukl. She got later famous for something else. And Greenland, I don't think I've ever spawned any punky things, but a couple of good rappers. So if you like to explore what Trump is so desperate to get his fucking small, tiny orange wanker hands on. It's Greenlandic rap. I'm certain of that. But especially the Swedish bands and the Finnish bands stood out as being particularly weird and well-sounding and interesting for us. Also because the Swedish were so funny. There was of course more for the or Protestbank and all the other world-famous guys, but there's particularly Rövsvett stands out for me as one of the major ones, along with what are they called, Happy Farm, or what are they called? Anyway, Rövsvett had a now legendary 7-inch called Et psykisk drama i 7 akter, meaning a psychological drama in 7 acts, which amongst others had the songs Satan er et troll, Satan is a troll, and Huiden Baptist, Shooter Baptist. They were also having a single split, 7-inch with, I don't know if I can say the word, but forcefully entered teenagers. You can look it up. The Reap Teenagers split is a brilliant piece of Swedish punk. Reap Teenagers also had a 7-inch called Jeg gillar blommor, jeg gillar träd, jeg gillar naturen som den är. Meaning I like flowers, I like trees, I like nature as it is. They later on went on to form a band called Kamprad or something in that manner, which made some excellent cassettes back in the zeros, I think. So there's still a lot of life in Swedish punk, and it's always a pleasure listening to them because they are so fucking angry. I would be so mentally repressed, forced to be polite all the time, Swede. I mean, we Danes, we just happy-go-lucky drunks. The Norwegians are so high from their oil millions that they can't be too pissed either. But the Finnish and the Swedish have all reasons to be angry. There was, of course, also major Swedish punk band, Ebba Grön, that went on to form Imperiet with the singer Joachim Thorström. But I never really listened to them. They were a bit too early for me. There was another band, I can't remember what they were called, but they made a song called Knugens Cook or something. Basically, it's a song about the King's Dick, which was immensely entertaining if you understand a bit of Swedish. And if we go and reach a bit back in time, there is a legendary anonymous band called Philomena and the Dong, who made a song called Ingenting i din hjerne, Nothing in Your Brain, with harmonica and cookie pots as instrumentation. That's I personally consider some of the earliest Danish punk. No, not Danish, Scandinavian punk. It's ingenting i din hjerne, ingenting i din hjerne, which is great stuff. Where do I want to go with all this shit? Nowhere to bed, I think. I'll just leave you a bunch of hashtags in the description of all the bands I've mentioned in this little video. And the English hardcore punk band Disorder actually moved to Norway, making a live record from Blitz in Oslo, calling Fuck Your Nationality, or Gefang Nationaliteten din, which means fuck your nationality. And do that, please. Fuck your nationality. We are all humans. And the last day of basic school I had, I went with my buddy Kenneth to Odense instead of going to a party with our classmates to see the German punk band Sagittara Bene and the Brazilian punk band Cholera and the Danish metal band Megara, but that's a time and place for another story. So peace out, brothers and sisters, and in between us, I love you all as I love my wonderful coffee and my big sideburns.